First here.
All right, so for number one, which is healthier, gummy bears or chips? Who said gummy bears? Anyone? Who said chips? All right, our chip people would be correct. Gummy bears are basically any gummy candy is kind of tricky. A lot of them say they're fat-free, so like, oh yay, fat-free, they must be good for me. But they really are just loaded with sugar. That's basically all they are, is sugar. So in reality, the chips are better. Even the corn chips would be the best to have. So, next one, popsicles or ice cream bar. Who said popsicles? We're missing one?
Next is meatloaf for mac and cheese.
Okay.
Oh, well, I guess never mind. I don't know where mine came from then. Okay, so mac and cheese or meatloaf. Who said mac and cheese? Meatloaf? All right, mac and cheese people, you would be correct. All right. But I'll just read our description here. It says the calcium in macaroni and cheese makes it a better choice than the meatloaf. To make the dish even healthier, using 1% milk and reduced fat shredded cheese would make it even better. And by doing that, you'll cut the saturated fat content. And taste-wise, it doesn't really taste too much different. And then it also adds an extra nutrients by tossing in maybe some chicken or chopped tomatoes or some peas or something like that to make it a little more healthier. All right, do you have the string cheese and fruit leather one? Okay. All right, who said string cheese? Who said the fruit leather? All right, string cheese would be correct. It's an easy on-the-go snack and it has the nutrients, the calcium from the milk. That would be better. All right, pretzels and popcorn. We have that one, right? Okay, now I'm nervous that we don't have all of them. All right, so who said pretzels? Who said popcorn? All right, majority popcorn is correct. The reason it is correct, popcorn is a whole grain. There's more nutrients in that than the pretzels. Now
Of course, you have to be careful with what you put on that.
Yes, loading it with butter does not make it healthier. Air-popped popcorn would be the best. You can also add like a little Parmesan cheese instead of loading it with salt. That adds a little bit of flavor to it. Or making it kind of spicy, adding like some cayenne pepper, chili pepper powder, something like that to make it a little bit spicier. All right, we have 100% juice or juice with 100% natural flavors. This one might be a little tricky. Who said 100% juice? 100% juice with natural flavors? All right, 100% juice is correct. The natural flavors could mean that there's a lot of added preservatives and sugar in it, because sugar is a natural flavor, but it is the added sugar that will add the extra calories. Grilled cheese or pizza? This is a tough one. Who said grilled cheese? Who said pizza? All right, pizza, you are correct. You can make pizza pretty healthy. The thin crust would be the best choice, has a lot less fat in it, a lot less grease. You can also put a lot of vegetables on it. If you order pizza, it's nice they put a lot of cheese on it, a lot more than you need. You could say cut the cheese in half, things like that to make it better. All right, next one. Which vitamin do 70% of kids not get enough of? The correct answer is vitamin D. That one a lot of people are missing. I know everyone is always so nervous about putting their kids outside without sunscreen, getting sunburn, stuff like that. It is good just to let them go outside for even just 10 minutes. That's all they need to help them get that vitamin D that they need without their sunscreen on. And then the last one I have is, what is the biggest source of calories in a youngster's diet? Who said A, baked desserts? B, pizza? Or C, soda and fruit drinks? All right, the people who said soda and fruit drinks would be correct. It says with every sugary serving, a child's risk of becoming overweight rises by 60%. So if you're going to have them do fruit juices, make sure they're the 100% fruit juice. And even mixing it with a little bit of water, it still has a lot of flavor in it. But then you're cutting those calories even more. So, are we going to have them? Oh,
let's turn in your quizzes. So if you just want to fold them in half here, actually, let's see. Let's go over how many they might have gotten right, and then we
yes,
might
let's-
not have to do a drawing.
All right, who got every single question correct? Anybody? Who missed one? All right, we have a
Okay.
tie.
Oh, 3. All right.
Okay. So our two winners, with two of you, just two of you, okay. We'll pass your papers on over here and we'll,
Let's pick a number. Start off. Guys have children or grandchildren? Perfect. Okay. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 20.
want to write it down? or-
I got it in my head. Go ahead, Becky.
I'll say 12.
You have a number?
13.
Oh, it was 18. So, you get to come up here and pick a prize. We have some Fit and Fresh containers, 2 different lunch bags, and then you can have a little one of those. So, whatever you'd like to choose here.
And these are what?
Those are, you can put like fruits or vegetables in those.
It has a little ice pack in there, or built-in ice pack.
These are the same thing, just bigger, so you can hold stuff there.
Oh, will I be white or
Or a lunch bag.
Okay. Oh, so this is just a bunch of them?
Yeah, they
Little
stack
vegetables?
together.
These? Oh, these are lunch bags. Oh, this is a tough decision.
I think maybe we'll just stick this one until the end, just to keep it rolling. All right. Nice pick. Okay. We'll go ahead and get started here. By show of hands, how many of you have young children? Okay. How many of you don't have children? Okay. And I don't have kids yet either, but I have a really picky husband who won't eat his vegetables. So.
more for my.
There you go, yourself. So hopefully you'll learn something today, either way, if you have kids or if you don't. And there are some recipes you'll see there that you can pack in your lunch as well. Okay. It never wants to work when we get up here. We'll work beforehand. We might have to help me through. Okay, this is what we'll talk about today. First one is tips to help your children make healthy choices. Some wholesome foods for your kids to eat or yourself. Healthy lunch options, how you can disguise the fruits and vegetables. And then we'll go over the handout that you have and talk about our recipes and do some sampling. All right. Okay, tip number 1, let them learn by serving themselves. So kids will learn many useful life lessons when you let them serve themselves at mealtime. They can make decisions about which foods and how much to put on their plate. They learn to be more aware of when they are hungry and when they are full. They develop their fine motor skills and hand-eye coordination. They learn to share, take turns, and be responsible for their choices. And some of the websites that we were reviewing for this presentation said you want to use a small bowl, something that they can hold easily, and maybe a smaller serving spoon, or hold the bowl for them, let them serve themselves. And also when they're younger, maybe they're learning how to count, you can help them measure things out as well too. You need to also help your child learn to love a variety of foods. So we can do this by cooking foods in a variety of ways. So if you want to maybe steam some broccoli or stir fry it, blend it up in something, make it into a soup, just different ways to try the food. Having it over and over again, serving it with familiar foods that they like. If they see their friends, older kids and grown-ups eating it too, so be a good example to them. Tasting them prepared in different ways, choosing foods that they try themselves, and starting with small amounts. And they also, if they help you make it too, that will help them like it a little bit more. They might be more willing to try it. So tip number 3, make meals and memories together. So they like to try foods they help make. Can everyone see the chart here at the different age groups? This is what you can have your kids help you with. So 2 years old, they can make faces out of pieces of fruits or vegetables, help you wash things, tear lettuce, maybe snap the green beans. Then they can stir, spread things, shake, knead bread dough, peel and mix fruits and vegetables. I don't know about the peeling unless you feel like they're safe with a peeler. Wiping counters, mashing foods, and then measuring again because they're in that learning to count stage. Okay, and then it's also important to enjoy family meals together. So Focus on the meal and each other, turn off the TV and the phone until afterwards. Make it fun and a happy time for them. And encourage your child to try foods, but don't lecture or force them to eat it. Did anyone have a parent that would force you to eat your vegetables? Yeah. Well, I did too, so I would have to sit at the table for a couple hours if I didn't eat my carrots, and I just never liked cooked carrots for some reason. I kind of like the fresh ones more than the cooked, and luckily my mom learned that just give me another option and I'll eat it. But I remember sitting at the table for a couple hours one night. My dad said, don't even throw it up because you're going to have to eat it. So I don't think he'd actually make me do that. My sister, she was a couple years younger, and she'd always feel so bad, and she'd sneak up and eat my vegetables for me sometimes. So don't force your kids. Maybe they won't like vegetables after that at all. And I think taste change as we get older too, so you may learn to like something later on. So just give them a lot of options. There's plenty of ways to get their nutrients in. Okay. Listen to your child when they say they are full. Young children will eat the amount that they need. This is in most cases. I know of some children that will just eat and eat and eat. And so you have to tell them only at meal times, or make sure you eat now, or you won't have it until your next meal time, so no snacks or anything. But toddlers have a strong sense of appetite and fullness, and then children's appetite can vary from meal to meal as well. You can just kind of see the caloric needs for all ages here. So, and then a quick rule that we learned in a couple past cooking classes was just add a 0 to the end of your body weight if you want to maintain. If you want to lose, obviously you'll have to subtract some calories or exercise more. But you can generally base it off of this here. And if you're more active, you need more calories. Same for your kids. All right, next one. Here are some wholesome foods for your kids to eat. And we're also going to talk about maybe some myths, what we think is wholesome, but really isn't. So we have the natural whole grains, oatmeal, brown rice, wild rice, popcorn. But I really want you to read the label. So we're looking for things that say 100% whole wheat. So 100% and the word whole is what we're looking for. We want to say no to these products. 100% wheat, we're missing the whole. Multigrain contains whole grains. You see all of those cereals in the grocery store. They put them right at eye level for you to buy. And they might just put a little bit of whole grain in the very last ingredient. So look at the labels as well. You want to see the first ingredient say 100% whole wheat. 7-grain cracked wheat, made with whole grains, made with whole wheat or bran. Just some things they put in there, but not the best option. Okay, so we're looking for the word whole before the first ingredients. And I really like Bob's Red Mill. They have a lot of whole grains that you can purchase even at Super Saver or Hy-Vee. And they have gluten-free options as well. So these are just some of the whole grain ingredients that you can purchase. I just brought some bread here today. Has anyone had Ezekiel bread before? You can get this at Trader Joe's. You've had it? Do you like it?
Long time ago I did.
Okay.
From the health food store up in Meridian Park, I think.
Mhm.
It was good.
Yeah, it's really good for you. And I just wanted to read off some of the ingredients here because there's no flour. Organic sprouted wheat, filtered water, sprouted barley, sprouted millet. So everything is sprouted and it's really good for you. It's a little bit tougher. I mean, it's not really hard bread to eat. I like it for toast, but very good option for you and your kids. Next slide. All right, another quick little quiz here. We don't have any winners for this one, but can you tell which food is a whole grain food based on the ingredients?
The crackers is whole grain.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Tortilla? Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so B, C, and D, they all have the whole wheat flour, whole cornmeal, whole grain, brown rice flour. So yeah, that's correct. All right, next one. Peanut butter and jelly. So I know this goes in kids' lunch boxes a lot. Hopefully you make it on maybe the whole 100% whole grain bread. That would be a better option. Otherwise, there's a lot of hydrogenated oil and then the simple sugar. So I just brought my peanut butter's down there, but you want to look for maybe the natural peanut butter.
Don't need it.
You can read the ingredients if you want. But there's no added sugars or extra oils and things. There's a little bit of molasses in that one, I think. But
Yeah, it said made from peanuts, sugar, palm oil, and then it contains 2% or less of salt and molasses.
And some natural peanut butters are better than others. There's some you can just buy the ground up peanuts, and that would probably be the best option too. And then I don't know if anyone's tried the pollen or all fruit, but this jam is really good. So they just use the fruit juice to sweeten it. So that's another option for your kid to make if they love PB&J, and I love PB&J too, just to make a healthier option. All right, next slide.
Oops, sorry. Maybe. Oh no.
Yeah, don't click on a picture. You might have a hyperlink. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, baked potato chips and pretzels. This was part of our quiz, and while it may have been the healthier option at the time, there's really not much nutrient value in these items. So you may want to reconsider just sending some chips in your child's lunch. It's not going to get them through the day, not going to be very filling or give them a lot of energy. And we have that at our lunches too, so it might not be the best option for us to eat at lunchtime either. A better option, baked veggie chips, whole wheat pita chips, maybe the Stacy's branded pita chips. You can get those at Hy-Vee, pretty much any health food store as well. I'm sure they have them at Super Saver as well. And then we have milk here, so everyone knows or they've heard that you really need to give your child milk, get that vitamin D. But there are some other options. You're still going to have the nutrients in the skim milk or the 1%, but almond, soy, and rice, they actually have just as much, if not more, nutrients in them. So just kind of read the labels. So you can definitely do the non-dairy option as well. And then applesauce. I know we used to love the colorful applesauce. They had colorful ketchup back then too when I was growing up. But look for the words natural or unsweetened, because a lot of applesauce has added sugar and other things in there, preservatives that you don't really want your kids to have. So look for organic as well. Packaged lunches. So I'm sure a lot of our kids really love these little items. They're fun. They come with a little toy. They have colorful, that might be applesauce. I don't know what's in that box there. But they have a lot of sodium. They're processed, a lot of artificial ingredients, and they're not going to give your kids energy throughout the day. So better option, we have these little containers down here, and we gave them away as prizes. Make your own little packaged lunch for your kids. So with cheese cubes or tomatoes or little grapes or something, and cut up some natural meat or organic meat of your choice, or veggie meat or something, and just make them their own pre-portioned little meal to take to school. Granola bars. Nutri-Grain bars, you may think that they're good, but if we read the ingredient list, there's probably like 20 to 30 ingredients on these bars. And they can be more like a candy bar these days. A lot of maybe even the protein bars that we eat can be like a candy bar. So we really need to be careful, read the ingredients. We don't want a lot of preservatives in there. A bar that I recommend, a couple bars, the Larabar. Has anyone tried the Larabar? Those are really good. They have about 4 to 5 ingredients. They have dates, nuts, maybe some other fruits, and that's about it. So not a lot of stuff in those. You can also create your own snack bar or trail mix. You pick what you want to put in there. And then Kind bars, also very good for you. They might have some honey or agave as the sweetener, but a lot better. Nothing artificial in there. Okay. Yogurt, so we have Danimals over there. Probably not the best option for your kid. There's a lot of preservatives, probably some food coloring dyes in there as well, a lot of added sugar. So a better option would be to have some Greek yogurt, make your own fruity yogurt, put some fruit in it, put some honey, and then make sure it says live and active cultures in your yogurt that you pick. It's got some good bacteria for your stomach. Okay, we've talked a little bit about whole grain cereals. You'll see that little green mark on the top of the box that says got whole grains in there. Doesn't mean it's good for you. So you want to make sure, as we see on here, there's not a lot of sugar, not a lot of fat, and you want to have fiber and protein in your cereal. So cereal not often is the best option unless it's really healthy for you. So they have Ezekiel cereal. Trader Joe's has pretty healthy cereal, I would say. Again, just read the labels, make sure there's not a lot of sugar. Or make your own with oatmeal. That's probably the best option for you for breakfast if you want to do more of a cereal. So it's a whole grain, and then you can add your fruit and nuts and a little bit of maybe honey or agave to sweeten it, and that would be good for you as well. Okay, juice drinks. As we were talking about that, The American Academy of Pediatrics has put limits on the amount of juice that kids should have. So just a half to a 3/4 cup for those ages 1 to 6, and then 1 to 1.5 cups for 7 to 18 years. So just giving your kid a sippy cup throughout the day, that's probably too much juice for them. And a good idea Carly had was to put a little bit extra water in there. Or a lot of days we do like the water infused and maybe put some fruit in there to infuse into the water. That's really good, or cucumber or lemon. Maybe with a little honey would be a better option. Okay, so we have a bunch of lunch options here, and you have the recipes on your sheet for a lot of these. So some ideas for your kids' lunchbox. You can make them a pizzadilla, and the recipe is on there for you. So make sure you got a whole grain tortilla, your low-fat cheese, your tomato, and you can put whatever vegetables you want on there. Give them some carrot sticks, maybe a light ranch. It says low-fat ranch, and then your unsweetened natural applesauce would be a good lunch. The Greek pita pocket are here. You have the recipe for the creamy chicken salad in front of you. So that's a good option. And then just have your side of an apple or some vegetables, whatever you want to choose for that. And we're keeping it under 500 calories, which is good for kids, probably a little bit less though. Okay, so a beefy Sammy and a fruit stick. A fruit stick might be a fun way to get your child to eat fruits and vegetables. They can give them a long skewer and have them put the different fruits on, make it a rainbow, or make it look like a little caterpillar. It might be more fun for them to eat that way. Then we have our whole wheat PB&J. Bagel's probably not the best option unless it's really healthy. Read the ingredients on that one. We have chips there as well. Some chips, I don't know how healthy those are. I don't have the ingredients here with me, but banana's always great. We have some protein up there with the nuts. More ideas here. A salad, probably not so much for your kids. I can't imagine your kids like salad for their lunch. We have an orange, some popcorn, and then I think there's a recipe for the couscous that you have in front of you. That's really good. Make some hummus. That's got some protein, blending up those garbanzo beans with some garlic. Good option for lunch for adults as well. Couple more here. So a cafeteria club. And we'll talk about how to disguise the vegetables, but for this you could put a lot of vegetables in there, roll it up with maybe some guacamole, some cheese for your child, and pre-portion some little snacks on the side, some vegetables or fruit. And then a parfait, more of a breakfast option, but you could make a little cup of some yogurt, some different fruits, maybe put some nuts and cinnamon in there, granola. That would be a good snack or lunch option as well. Okay. So let's talk about how we can sneak fruits and veggies into your child's food. And we'll talk about the recipes we did today here as well. But I made a macaroni and cheese, and I used a whole head of cauliflower in it. So hopefully you won't be able to taste it, but I blended it up, and you probably won't even know that it's there. And your child probably won't either. You can't even really tell that there's much of a texture difference in that one as well. But you're going to be able to get a lot of vitamins, a lot of nutrients into your child's food by blending. So maybe it's a pasta sauce and you put it on pizza, or enchiladas, or I don't know, whatever, lasagna, that would be a better one. Blend up a bunch of vegetables and do that. Next one. Okay, meats and casseroles. So you could make a meatloaf really healthy. It doesn't have to be unhealthy if you put a lot of vegetables in it, and it probably won't change the flavor very much. Chili is another good one to hide things in. And then today we also are making a smoothie for you, and we've thrown some vegetables, and we will throw some kale and different things in there, but spinach is a good one to throw in your smoothie. Kale, you probably won't notice it too much, or you can juice different fruits and vegetables. So if you have a juicer, try those combinations. There's some things you probably don't want to juice though. So beets, I mean, they're really great to juice, but if you try and blend them up, they don't taste very good. They might make your smoothie taste pretty nasty, or wheatgrass. Really great to juice and maybe take a little shot of that in the morning, but to put it in a whole smoothie, it'll kind of ruin the taste of the smoothie. So just try it out before you serve it to your family. Okay, breads and muffins. So we also made some zucchini muffins today. You shred up a couple cups of zucchini, put it in there. You can see a few specks of green in there, but maybe your child will like the taste of it. They taste pretty good. You can't really taste vegetables in there, so that's an option. And pizza as well. You can put as many vegetables on there as you want, and hopefully your kids will like that a little bit more because pizza is pretty popular with kids. All right. Make your own fruit juice ice pop. So you can get some 100% juice, put some berries in there, and pour it into some popsicle containers. And then mashed potatoes, another option. You can make it with cauliflower. That's another good one as well. Wrapping it up. So puree some vegetables onto a whole grain tortilla and put more vegetables or cheese or meat on there for your child. Serve it with guacamole, sour cream. That's a way to sneak some in, and then also on sandwiches as well. So if you're going to do a peanut butter sandwich, put some banana or other fruits on there for your child, and also in their sandwich you can put some more things in there. Okay, we're going to take a break here. Carly is going to talk about how to make healthy foods more fun.
All right. So Rachel already kind of talked about it a little bit, making some foods fun. We have a few things that will bring people up to that are brave enough to demonstrate for us. But I'll just kind of talk off this sheet a little bit. So today we're going to, I'll just show you or tell you what we're going to make. We're going to make the bugs on a log. I'm sure everyone has made those before. Also, we're going to make a butterfly and a penguin. So that's kind of what we're going to do today, just to make the food a little bit more fun. And if the kids help make it, it might make them want to eat it more. There's also just kind of putting the kids in charge. So what you want is just give them an option of some different fruits and vegetables. Let them pick which ones they want and then make a design out of it, make a picture on the plate or something like that. Make it fun for them, because if they make it, if they picked it out, they're more likely going to eat it. And then also making dips for the fruits and vegetables. A lot of times dips aren't usually quite as healthy, but if it's going to make them eat their fruits and vegetables, I think it's better to do it that way. It's just up to you. You can make the dips a little healthier, like Rachel said, doing the light ranch rather than the full fat ranch. Things like that, just making little changes just to help them eat. But we're going to demonstrate the food for you. Let's see, do you want to start with just, yeah. So we'll start with a very basic one. I'm sure everyone has seen it before. But you'll just cut up the celery, make sure you wash it, and you'll spread a little bit of peanut butter.
So we have our little log here. Got my natural peanut butter. Maybe a tablespoon or so, right?
Mm-hmm. And then for the bugs, you can put raisins, different nuts on it, things like that your kids will want to eat.
So I got some raisins here today. And we'll just put a few on here. And we have our bugs on the log. So if you want to taste that later, you can certainly come up and make yourself one. I'll get this off out of the way so it's not a mess.
All right, for this next one, we're going to need 2 brave volunteers to come up and make our penguins. We have one kind of demonstrated for you. And we
And
made him
they're
a
on the
hat.
screen.
He has a hat too. He had a toothpick sticking up at the top of his head, so we tried to hide that a little bit. So, anybody interested?
You will win a prize.
You'll win a prize. Both of you will.
We need 2 people. Come on up.
Do you have to eat it?
No.
You don't have to eat it. You just have to be creative today.
I don't like olives, so.
Okay. All right, so we're going to have a competition. Who can make the best looking penguin in 2 minutes or less? Okay? So we have big olives here, little olives. We have some Faco cream cheese here, soy cream cheese. And we have some carrots, and they're washed. And if you want to scrape off the outside, you can. But you might want to take the circle for the feet. And we've cut out some little feet here, you can see, and used it for the nose. But you have pepper you can use as well. You can make a little scarf or a hat. Up to you.
Be as creative as you want for
2 minutes.
2
2
minutes.
minutes. Okay. And I'm going to time you here.
And then we don't have it in here, but the cream cheese, you can just put like right where you cut the olive. You'll cut the olive in half. Oh, okay. Just the top part, not all the way through. And then you'll stick the cream cheese
And
in
we're
it.
all going to judge their creations.
So,
All right, get ready. And go. 2 minutes. Make your little penguin.
Q-tips, or not Q-tips, toothpicks. I like toothpicks.
So you can make this as a party, something to bring to a party. A lot of people like that. The penguins are really cute. You just put a little cream cheese or make it flavored cream cheese in their stomach area. And then carrots or red pepper or green onions make a nice scarf as well for the penguins. Fun idea to take with you. All right, we have 1 minute left.
Looking good.
You said that cream cheese is soy?
It's soy. Yeah, it's tofu-y. I got it from Hy-Vee.
Does it taste like tofu stuff?
Sorry.
I think it's good. I think the texture is really good. The flavor is a little bit different, but I don't mind it. It's pretty good. And when you make it in stuff, you don't even notice. Like I make a
30
cheesecake
seconds.
with it, and it works out. 25 seconds. That one's got a big nose. I did that too. Made my first one. 10 seconds. 5. All right, nice job. Okay, you need to walk around your penguin now, and we'll see who's the winner. Oh, they're both cute. Very cute little penguins. We got one with a hat. We got one without. All right, what do you guys think so far?
You did good.
So, we have any votes for Jessica?
Yeah, I think the one with
Yeah.
the hat.
The one with the hat?
Sorry, Sal.
Sally? No votes for Sally? She's got 3 olives on hers.
Oh, there. My daughter's little olive. Yeah.
All right, well, I think we know who our winner is, so one more time, Jessica or Sally? Jessica? All right, you can come pick a prize here, and then Sally, you will also get a prize. So.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you can sit down.
You can pick one of these lovely little containers. Okay. There's some paper towels back there. Okay. And your pick here. All right. Nice job. We have one more. We'll give you a minute this time. We have 2 butterflies out of apples. Any volunteers?
I'll show you what it looks like. It looks really, it's kind of browning a little bit. But this is our butterfly, and you can put peanut butter, some on the wings, or some raisins, whatever, make it pretty. Any volunteer, you'll win something. The prizes are right there.
I will.
Okay.
Anyone else? I promise it's super fun. It's not as hard as the olive.
Did I only get a minute? All right. Well,
the penguin was a little harder.
okay. We will give you 1 minute here, and you'll do it yourself now. So someone else wants.
No one
to
else
go.
would sit.
I might have
Leslie
to.
came up
Okay,
here.
Leslie. All right. Right. Okay. So you're gonna make the best looking butterfly. You can decorate it with peanut butter and raisins if you want to.
Okay.
We have some pepper or carrots here too. So we have some toothpicks for you. You got an idea? All right, ready? 1 minute.
Do we each have a knife?
I don't think we do,
What's
but
that?
go
Why don't
ahead.
you
No,
cut
you go
some
first.
apples here first?
Yeah, we won't start the timer till you cut it. How about that?
Okay.
We'll let
Make
you
it a little more
assemble them.
fair.
There's all sorts of combinations of fun ideas for how to make food fun for your kids online. So if you just go online and Google these different ideas here or how to make healthy food fun, you'll find a lot of pictures and recipes.
Then I guess we really
Yeah.
You peel it with
You
the
can
knife
also
there.
use celery as the middle too. So
Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go.
some tasting here in just a few minutes. All right, are we ready? 1 minute to decorate your butterfly here. Let's go.
How do you get things to stick on them?
You can use celery, you can use raisins. 15 seconds has gone by.
Boy. I don't even know if my wings are going to be attached.
30 seconds. Some peanut butter going on.
There we go.
A good resource for you and your kids is choosemyplate.gov. You can find a lot of recipes there. That's where we got the handout for you today, how to make
10
healthy
seconds.
foods fun. You might have to give them 30 extra seconds. All right, we'll give you 10 more seconds. Get your butterflies done.
That's good. And it's falling apart.
This will go together, right? All right.
Toothpicks coming out of mine.
Look at Brian's put on. Okay, nice job. What do we think of their butterflies? Just hold them up here. Let them
Do it
see your
through the back.
butterflies. Might need some extra practice before you try this with your kids, right? All right, what do we think for
I like your
Amy
raisins.
here? And
kinda what I
for Brian. Oh, that was
Thank
pretty
you.
close. All right,
Appreciate
it
the
looks like
reciprocal
Amy is our
love.
winner. Go ahead and pick your prize, and Brian, you get what's left.
All right.
Good job.
Oh, all right, well, you have
Oh,
the
sorry.
box then.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, we'll keep moving along here. Just wanted to get a little bit of participation today. It gets kind of boring to just hear us talk all the time. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so let's talk about the macaroni and cheese, how we made it today, and we'll go sample after this. So you just boil your macaroni noodles however you want to do that, and you don't have to use just the plain white noodles. You could go for the whole wheat if you like that. Those often are pretty tough to eat. So other options, corn pasta is really good. There's this, I think they have asparagus pasta as well. So just kind of find what you like. Rice pasta, maybe a little bit more nutrients in those. So you can just pick from those. Okay, and then what you do is you cook your cauliflower. You want to get it nice and soft and then blend it up. So really smooth. I tried this with a blender. It doesn't work as well as a food processor. So if you have a really good blender, it might work. But get it really smooth and hopefully you won't be able to taste it in the macaroni at all. So then you can choose your type of cheese. We just did regular today, but you can do a lighter version, the lower fat. You can make it with soy, and I did put almond milk in the mac and cheese. So hopefully there's no allergies today, but let me know if you're allergic to something and I'll let you know if we might have that in there. And then season it to taste. You can put a little bit of parsley or something to garnish. So that's really simple. It takes about 15 minutes to prepare. Just do it on the stove, and then I just put it into the crock pot to keep it warm. And then the zucchini muffins, also very simple. So you have your whole wheat flour and all-purpose, or if you want to do a white whole wheat flour, you can do that. 1 large egg. I did replace the egg today with some flaxseed. Has anyone tried that to replace eggs before? No. Or egg replacer. It's a powder. You can do that as well if you don't want to do eggs, or if you do like the egg whites as well. But flaxseed, you do 1 tablespoon of flaxseed to 3 tablespoons of water. And you let it sit for a couple minutes and it starts to thicken. And then you put it into your mixture, blend it up, and use that for an egg. So if you don't have eggs on hand, flaxseed works as well.
How much water?
3 tablespoons to 1 tablespoon of flaxseed.
And that equals 1 egg.
1 egg. Yep.
Do you
So just
grind up the, oh, I'm sorry. Do you grind up the flaxseed?
This one is already ground up.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Okay, so flaxseed, you can get some protein and some fiber in there as well, which is also good for you. So we're gonna put that in the smoothie as well today. Okay, so then we have our half cup of sugar, teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 1/4 teaspoons baking powder, half teaspoon soda, 1/4 of salt, and then go ahead and shred your zucchini. I had like 1 small zucchini, and that'll make 1 batch for the muffin. So if you want to double that, we doubled it today. You'll need a couple zucchinis. I used the almond milk for these muffins as well. And then I used agave nectar instead of honey. So you can use that. You can get it at Trader Joe's. And I like this one. If you ever buy maple syrup, you know it's very expensive. So a nice mix of agave and maple syrup. You still can use this on pancakes or whatever else you like to make. And it's a lot cheaper. It's like $3 for a bottle instead of $7 or $8 for maple syrup. Okay, so pretty simple. You just mix it up until moist and then put it in your muffin tins and bake it. All right, next. Carly's going to demonstrate her smoothie here and we'll get to sample that. The pie first? Okay, talk about the pie. So you can pull out your recipe if you want to look at it as we go along here.
Okay, and I'm going to talk about the pumpkin pie first, and then I'll demo the smoothie after that. But there's a few changes on the pumpkin pie. And when we were typing this up, we didn't put the oven temperature on there. You might want that. It's 375 degrees. And the original recipe was just getting the regular beans, the fresh beans, and soaking them overnight. And so that's what the first salt is for. But if you're going to use the canned beans like I did, you don't need that first salt. So you can just cross that off. There's salt later down that we'll use instead. So those are the only changes on there. This pie is really easy, and it tastes very similar, I think, to pumpkin pie. You can be the judge of that later. But I promise it tastes pretty good. So you'll start out with 2 cans of the red kidney beans. You'll take that and the evaporated milk, or you can use coconut milk. I did half evaporated milk, half coconut milk. That comes in the can. It's kind of just a taste preference for whichever one you'd like. And you'll put a little bit of beans in the blender and a little bit of the milk, and you'll blend it up, and you'll just gradually add in the 2 cans of beans and the milk. And you'll keep mixing that until it's smooth. My blender is $20, so it's not really the best blender. It's still blended up, everything very smooth. I just had to put it in there a little bit longer, so it just kind of depends on the blender of how long you have to blend it. Then you'll add in the 2 eggs. I used eggs in mine. You can use the flaxseed if you'd like. And then I used turbinado sugar. Has anyone ever heard of that before? Okay, it's basic. It's just right there.
Sugar in the raw.
Yeah, it's natural, pure cane sugar. So it's a little bit darker in color because it still has that molasses in it. When you refine sugar, it takes all the molasses out, which makes it white. So you still treat it, a cup of this sugar is the same as a cup of white sugar. So it's used the same. It has the same sweetness. It's just the natural, pure form of sugar instead.
You do that with powdered sugar
Oh,
as
yeah.
well from Trader Joe's. So it's the unrefined organic sugar that you can find.
And then you'll blend in the eggs, and then you'll start adding in the seasonings. They're all the seasonings that you would use for the pumpkin seasoning, so that's what makes it taste like the pumpkin pie. You'll use the half teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of the ground cinnamon, half teaspoon of cloves and nutmeg, and then you'll use a pastry pie shell. I just use the graham cracker crust, but you can get like the Pillsbury one or whatever, or you can make your own. I'm not that good at making pie crust, so I just bought one. So it's up to you what kind of pie crust you want to make. And then you'll mix everything in the blender. It's pretty liquidy. You'll just pour it in the pie pan, and then you'll just bake it for 45 minutes to an hour. And then it comes out a little bit darker than pumpkin pie. It almost reminds me of like a chocolate-colored pie. Tastes like pumpkin though. And yeah, it's pretty good. So Rachel's going to demonstrate. We're going to do a whipped cream homemade topping. Oh, yeah.
Has anyone ever made their own like whipped topping instead of buying Cool Whip? Okay, so another option here is to get some coconut milk and just to blend it with some organic powdered sugar. So that's what I'm going to do for your topping today, and I'll make that up, and you can put some on your pie if you want. But it's pretty simple. We just got this from Trader Joe's, and you just kind of just keep adding some powdered sugar until it's a good consistency, and it gets fluffy if you beat it for a while. So that's another option you can do. The coconut cream is a little bit higher fat than just regular coconut milk, so just read the ingredients again. Okay, so Carly's gonna blend this up here. We'll pour out some samples for you. The smoothie's pretty simple. You can follow the ingredients, everything goes in the blender. At this time, we'll do some sampling, so if you wanna get up and get yourself a plate, and then we'll get the smoothie ready for you to taste as well.
We've done a lot today.